Hey guys, Bright Cat here, and welcome back to my channel. This video is not necessarily going to be art related, but it is something I wanted to talk to y'all about, and that's self-care basically. Now, it might seem a little bit silly in some kinds of way, like self-care, obviously you just take care of yourself, you know, you're a grown adult, you should already know how to do these things. But it is something I've been trying to be more mindful of the past while. And I'm not always perfect at taking proper care of myself. I know probably a lot of people might struggle with some aspects of it here and there. I know I do from time to time. So I just kind of wanted to lay out a bit of what I was thinking about, what I was feeling on self-care, what I've been working on. I would say previously how I thought of self-care was like, you know, just having like those really lazy days where you're just a complete couch potato. I would just be lazing around all weekend long in my pajamas, just binge watching anime, gorging on snacks, staying up playing on the video game, whatever I was doing, and not really being very productive. Not getting any chores done, not maintaining good sleep. Basically just allowing myself to get away with stuff like an unmonitored child and not actually nourishing or taking care of my body whatsoever. And just using the whole I'm tired and I'm resting excuse to not do anything. Yeah, I had to cut that out and realize that I'm just being lazy. But anywho, yeah, self-care, it's definitely necessary. And there's like 4 main aspects I think about when it comes to self-care, and that's, you know, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And spiritual doesn't necessarily have to mean religious. So for proper physical self-care, okay? Number 1 is making sure you maintain good sleep habits, getting the proper amount of sleep for you and your body. Now for me, a solid 7 to 7.5 hours is about what I need in order to wake up and feel refreshed with energy in the morning, rather than, you know, 6 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, because there is a difference. Even if it's just a half an hour, your body can most certainly feel a difference. Not just getting good sleep, but also making sure I'm getting enough water. I know a lot of us out here are chronically dehydrated. And it's like, yes, I know other drinks have water in them. Like, you know, of course, coffee has water, soda has water, tea and juice has water, alcoholic beverages have water. But all of those extra things added into the drink, you know, like the sugars and the flavorings, preservatives, and things like that, don't necessarily contribute to your physical health. And so that's why it's fine to drink those other kinds of drinks. Like, I'm still definitely a coffee drinker, okay? But it's also very important to maintain just drinking plain water. If you don't like plain water, add some of that water flavor to it. As long as you're consuming an adequate amount of water for your activity level and for what your body needs to thrive. Also, now this is one that I've struggled with a lot for maintaining good physical self-care, okay, is proper exercise and activity levels. And this is something I've struggled with for a long time. My hobbies and interests do not include anything that makes me move around an awful lot. Sitting in front of the computer, sitting on the couch watching TV, you know, sitting at my desk drawing, especially as an artist, sitting at my desk drawing for long periods of time. Need to get up and move. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go through like a 3-hour weightlifting session and, you know, have to be a musclehead or anything like that, but just getting up, taking a 25-35 minute walk, or if you're feeling a little more ambitious, sometimes I like to walk for about an hour, about a solid 3-mile walk. But trying to maintain that for basically every day. I'm trying to at least get out and take a walk every day or every other day, however many I can manage, and maintain an activity level streak. Also, what's incredibly important that people tend to forget about is the opposite of maintaining proper activity is to make sure you are getting a proper and appropriate amount of rest, especially if you do a lot of exercise or a lot of work, a lot of labor. You know, it's okay just to put everything down for however long you need to. This is where you have to really pay attention to your body. Let your muscles properly recover from a good workout session. You know, let your mind recover from a really long study session. Anything that you have to do, make sure you get proper rest too. And another thing I have to work on, and I think another thing everybody should be mindful of, is your routine appointments. I'm talking your routine doctor, your routine dental, your routine vision appointments. These things are very easily neglected, and I know sometimes there's a lot of mistrust and a lot of fear surrounding doctors and dentists. There's also a financial aspect to it, especially for people who do not have insurance. But for those who have, you know, you have your medical benefits through your job or through anything, and you have something to help alleviate the financial burden, there is no reason not to. If you don't like your doctor, get a new doctor. There's probably dozens of doctors within your town that you can go see. Make your appointments. Make your yearly checkups. Once I get my vision insurance, I'm gonna go take myself to the eye doctor. Do I need to? No, my eyes are fine, but I want to get into the habit of making sure I'm getting looked at, so if there's any issues, that it's spotted early. For mental self-care, it's definitely a little bit different because there can be a lot of different aspects of it. But one of the things I try to focus on is cleaning up the type of content that I consume. What I mean by that is not doom scrolling. Okay, not engaging with a lot of really negative, really off-putting types of content, anything that's like super doom and gloom. Like a lot of that can really just seep into your mindset and start to color the way you see the world. And I'm gonna say this right now, stay away from that doom content, stay away from internet drama. Just stay away from it. Just avoid it. Don't get bogged down in it. Don't get mired in it. Avoid it. Instead, you know, try to find content that's, you know, more uplifting. Find content that's more educational. I'm not saying that you should avoid things that are entertaining, because a lot of that bad stuff is entertaining, but it can still have a negative influence on your life and on your way of thinking. But instead, rather than, you know, just scrolling for hours on YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever people are into these days, you know, engage mentally with something fulfilling, like, you know, reading. Get back into reading. There's probably a nice stack of books sitting on a shelf somewhere that you started and never finished. I know I've got a few of those hanging out. You know, rediscover some old hobbies that you might have put down for a while. Get back into those. Pick up a new skill to learn, and just something to break up the monotony of the day to day. You don't have to like really dedicate your life to it or anything like that. Like from time to time, I like to try to learn a little bit of song on the piano, like learn how to play the piano a little bit, just for my own entertainment. Not that I'm gonna really make anything of it. And if you're really feeling like you're in a bad way, get help. Seek therapy. Go to a professional. You don't have to be like on a 9 or 10 level with your mental health being, in that much of an extreme state to want to, find somebody to talk to. It could just be like, I haven't really been feeling that great these past few weeks, or I'm feeling a bit sad or a little bit depressed, or, something has been bothering me, it's been weighing on me. That's what therapists are there for, to listen to you. They're there to get, listen to what's going on in your life, offer feedback and help, support. I went to therapy myself last year for a few sessions as I felt was needed, and I thought it was very beneficial for me. And if you don't like the therapist you have, get a new therapist. There's probably dozens that are within your insurance network that you could talk to. Don't forget about that. Now, for that kind of leads into emotionally taking care of yourself. I think kind of the mental and emotional can kind of have a lot of overlap in some ways. Now, for like emotionally, I feel good emotional self-care means that you avoid sources of drama. You stay away from people that bring drama into your life, and you stay away from situations that bring drama into your life. Now, unfortunately, there are going to be some situations that happen to you that will bring drama that you might not necessarily have a choice about. But you can still operate in such a way that you do what's best for you. Okay? Even if that person or that situation is a thing that you like, a thing that you love, you might have to really sit down and say, hey, I'm going to put some distance between myself and that person, and myself and that thing. And be very aware of how people make you feel. Does this certain group of friends make you feel like, you're less than? Are you always the butt of every joke? Like, do you feel worse about yourself after being around these people or engaging with this certain activity? Take stock of that. Take note of that. It's like, is this really what's best for you? Because a lot of the time people get themselves into situations over and over, and then now you have to turn around and look at yourself. Are you the one inviting that frustration and heartache and drama into your life? So I think in a lot of ways it's like self-inflicted. It can be. You have to learn to recognize your own patterns. Are you drawn to a certain type of thing or a certain type of person that doesn't end well for you? Keep that in mind and start course correcting. But also at the same, and on the flip side of that is to make sure you nourish the relationships in your life with people who are good for you. Nourish your familial relationships and your friendships of those people who are genuinely there, who love you and support you and make you, feel good about yourself, and you want to help them and they help you. And don't neglect those strong relationships. Okay? Even if, you just have found family, that could be just as powerful a source of like support and love for you. Do what you can for them, and they can do what they can for you. It's a two-way street. And also, I want to add just a little bit on the end of the kind of the emotional self-care part here is how you talk to yourself. Not just how you talk to other people, but how you talk to yourself. Because a lot of time we inflict a lot of abuse and negative self-talk to ourselves. It's like, I suck at this, I'm no good, people are better off without me, why am I even trying? Think about the things you say to yourself, okay? Really think about it. And think about, would you ever say these things to people who you genuinely love? Or like, think of it like as if you were talking to your own child, okay? Would you ever think to say some of the things that you tell yourself every day? Would you think to say those same things to a child or other loved one? If the answer is no, I would never say these things to another person, then that might be a sign to start really dismantling those negative things that you're telling yourself. Because a lot of them are not even true. A lot of them are really not even true. They exist solely within yourself. But it's up to you to figure out where those thoughts are coming from and why you're telling yourself these things. And last but not least, spiritually. Spiritual self-care. Now, for some people, that can mean have a religious connotation to it. There's nothing wrong with that. I myself don't think I necessarily believe in God or a God, really. But I do believe that people do have souls. They do have a spirit. And you can kind of tell, like, if you really listen to yourself, listen to that little voice in your head, how you feel when you act a certain way or do a certain thing, or how you feel when you're in certain situations. Like if you're doing something that isn't sitting well with you, I think that's your soul telling you that this is not a good situation. Versus, doing stuff that you find like fulfilling, things that you deeply enjoy, digging into something you're passionate about. Those are stuff that's, I feel, is spiritually nourishing. And a part of that is also, this kind of circles back into like getting some activity, like physical self-care is like going outside, taking a walk around the neighborhood, especially on those days where the weather is really good, the sun is shining, kids are outside playing, birds are chirping, and you're just taking it all in, just feeling the sun on your skin. And I mean, like, listen, even unplug, no earbuds, nothing, just you and the environment around you. Just take it all in. And it's so calming to me, and I'm just like, wow, this is great. Like, literally, go outside, touch grass. I know that's very cliche to say, but it's very important. Because as humans, we weren't meant to necessarily stay inside, shut away inside a building, under artificial lights 100% of the time. You're gonna go crazy. That's why we get, have the term cabin fever, being just like stuck inside the house all day long. Nah, go outside, get some fresh air, take a walk. Take your dog out for a walk. Dog loves going for a walk. But yeah, that's basically it that I wanted to touch on for today. Now, I just want to say that I'm not perfect at all these aspects yet. I'm not the most high-functioning adult there is, or whatever, or well-functioning. I don't know how you really explain it. But I'm doing my best, and I gotta remind myself I'm not in this alone. Y'all are not in this alone. A lot of us are kind of in the same or similar situation, and that we're just trying to make our way in this world. We're just trying to do our best out here. And don't forget that, you matter. Treat yourself as such. Like, treat yourself how you want to be treated. Okay? Not just, waiting for other people to treat you how you want to be treated. It starts with you. Treat yourself how you want to be treated. Don't treat yourself like a throwaway. Don't treat yourself like you don't matter. Because you do. Even if you feel like you don't matter to anybody else on this planet, you should at the very least matter to yourself, because you are the only self you're gonna have. Unless maybe you believe in reincarnation or something, then there might be another life ahead of you. I don't know. Nobody can know these things. Not for real. Okay? But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So, I hope y'all have a great day and a great week, and whatever y'all get into, I hope it goes well. And I'll see you guys back here next time. Till then, take care. Bye.